Celebrating 10 years of award-winning car talk, this is the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show, your weekly go-to all things automotive place. Coming up, Jeff has a story on the Cadillac XP74 from 1959.
Yep.
Fine year it was. It's a prototype from the beginning of the space era. We'll have This Week in Auto History, get you updated on the stories making car news this week. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, who's emailing Elon Musk as we speak.
He is, actually.
It was.
Yeah. Along with King Conrad DeLong, and we need more Jeff Seekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad that you could join us today. And because we ran out of time last segment, we're going to do the car review this segment.
Your Bronco.
Bronco
Sport.
And no, not the Sport. The real Bronco.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Yeah, that.
Oh, no, I saw it last week. Good-looking truck.
It is.
Very good look. I love, and I'm sure you'll talk, I love the size of the doors.
Yes.
I love everything about it.
Pretty cool. And yours is a two-door, right?
Two-door. Yeah, the Bronco. Now, the first Bronco was born in 1966. I did not know that. Did a little research on it. Thinking, okay, when is that? 66. I remember them. And they were not all that. They were, I mean...
Four-cylinder.
Four-cylinder.
Kind of wheezy.
Yeah, but it was the era.
Yep.
You know, SUVs, as we know them today, were not all that.
Yeah.
I mean, the Jeep Wrangler. I mean, it competed against it
Was a
back
four-cylinder back then.
then. Yeah. So, available trim levels on the 2021 Ford Bronco, and I must tell you ahead of time, the one that I had is what is called a pre-production version.
Ooh.
So, in other words, it went down the assembly line, and it probably took a long time getting down there because it's a training vehicle,
Right.
and they get it out to the press. It's not very often that I get a pre-production model, but this one was. Available trim levels. 2 or 4 door models are available. There's 7 trim levels altogether. There's the base, a thing called the Big Bend, a Black Diamond Edition, Outer Banks, Badlands, Wild Track, and First Edition, which is a limited model that they're building for this, obviously, First Edition. The reviewed trim level is the 2-door Advanced 4x4 Badlands. Okay? This is a small body-on-frame SUV. Seats 4 passengers. I guess you could put 5 back there, but it's tight because it's small. It doesn't look small in the picture, but in comparison to other vehicles its size,
Right.
it's small.
I would agree.
Exterior changes from last model year, all new for 2021. Exterior features: small, square body, non-folding upright windshield, and I point that out because the Wrangler still has the folding windshield.
right.
And let me tell you, I have used that folding windshield one time, and I
Never do
swore
it
I'd
again.
never do it again because it's a pain in the butt.
On this one?
It has a non-folding.
This is
Non-folding.
non-folding.
Yeah, you're not paying attention.
I am.
No,
Well,
you're
you
not.
weren't. Well, anyhow.
Short overhangs front and rear, removable roof and doors, just like the Wrangler. What I liked about it, the big skid plates up front and in the rear, in the upper trim levels. You can buy the cheapo model.
Skid plates for... No, I won't go there.
Conrad.
But that's for the... Is that standard, or is that just part of their off-road package?
All options can be ordered individually. Interior highlights include an optional 12-inch in-dash touchscreen, available rubberized floors with drain plugs in them, comfortable seats front and rear with rear seat legroom, believe it or not. Cargo and trunk room, yes. Believe it or not, it does have room back there, 38.3 cubic feet with the rear seats up.
That's pretty good.
It is pretty good. What I liked about it, the interior was well put together, well thought out. It really rocks it. Although I have to tell you, it didn't come with a owner's manual. And
Well, pre-production, probably.
and I could not find how to adjust the side view mirrors.
Oh.
And I looked and I looked and I looked. And then I realized I cannot find the switches for the windows either. They're at the front of the center console, so they face forward, and you look down there, and then you can finally find
it's kind of like looking for the power source on an airplane when you're riding.
The PT Cruiser had that type of option.
What could use improvement? It sits high off the ground. Could be problematic for those that are short-legged. It might need some side steps, but then it defeats the purpose of having an off-road vehicle because you don't want to have the thing rock infested.
But again, short wheelbase, short overhangs front and rear, and big tires is what makes it off-roadable.
That's exactly right. And listen, if you're not going to go off-roading, don't buy this vehicle.
The truck for you.
No, I mean, it looks cool. It rides great. We'll get to that in a second. But this is a specialty vehicle, and you cannot expect everything.
It looks super cool.
It is very cool.
Yeah, it is
I
nice.
really did like it. So this one had the 2.3-liter inline four-cylinder turbocharged engine. A 2.7-liter turbo V6 is also available. The V6 has 330 horsepower, but 415 pound-feet of torque with a 10-speed automatic. You can't buy it with the manual. I had the manual. And so my little Turbo 4 had 300 horsepower with 325 pound-feet of torque. Plenty. It's plenty.
Did you have to keep it wound up to stay in the power?
7-speed automatic transmission. 7-speed manual transmission. You say 7-speed. So it's got a thing on there called C. And it's the crawl mode.
Spanish version.
Crawl mode.
Crawl mode. Oh, so it's got a granny first.
It's got a granny first gear.
But
you don't have to put it into low. It's right there on the shifter. Okay. C. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. Miles per gallon, 16 in the city, 18 on the highway for a combined of 17. I got 19.4. Of course, I didn't dog it or anything. I went 306.9 miles on my test drive. What I liked? The 120-mile-an-hour speedometer, kind of a throwback to the day. What could use improvement? Better mileage out of the four-banger. We got to find something. Ride and handling. The Badlands trim comes with 7-mode terrain management system, which is kind of cool. Base trim price, $42,095. That's the base trim price that I had, the Badlands. As tested, I'm just guessing because it wasn't on the window sticker. Yeah. I'm guessing it's probably going to be around $53,500 because it had lots of options on it. Base model price, $28,500.
Oh, wow. That's a sweet price.
$28,500.
I mean, if you want a stripper, that's a sweet price.
Exactly. Competitors, Jeep Wrangler, of course, for $28,900, and I didn't even realize that. Did you know that you could get in a Jeep Wrangler for $28,900? Toyota 4Runner, available in 4-door only and 6-cylinder only. It starts at $36,765, and the other competitor would be the Land Rover Defender, and it starts at $49,400.
Wow.
So it's a specialty vehicle. I think that they've sold out of the 21 model. They're now selling the 22 model, but get in line because I think that they're going to sell every single one that they make.
Absolutely.
It is very cool. Absolutely. I really liked it a lot.
And though it is a new vehicle, there is a tribute look to it.
Oh, yeah.
To the first generation Broncos,
right.
Not the OJ Bronco, but the earlier Bronco, which are still to this day hot in the market.
And some of those restored models, oh my God, they're bringing 6 figures in a vehicle that maybe cost $2,000 originally.
And a rusted out puke truck is bringing $20,000.
Yeah.
You know, so and there's a lot of companies here in town, a lot of shops here in town that's specializing in restoring.
So if you wanted to know, could you put my camera on there?
Yes, absolutely.
If you wanted to really know what it looks like, so the window sticker looks like this. Can you see that?
Yep.
Vehicle not for sale. EPA data available. Not available. Not being offered for sale.
Correct.
So here's your truck, but don't sell it.
Okay.
Well, so they'll take this back and crush it.
I was going to say.
Oh, yeah,
what are they going to do with it?
Well, that's what they do.
And it's like, no.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
I'll take it. I'll save it.
Mars has had pre-production vehicles before.
Yeah. Has that got a VIN on it? Is the VIN XX? I know GM, those pre-production ones, the VIN would start with an XX.
I don't know.
Numbering sequence, the last 6 digits would start
right off
with
the
XX.
top of my head, I don't see it here. I don't see a VIN number on it. You can see.
Let's pass it down.
So anyway, that's the review of the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands.
And you liked it.
A lot.
I liked it too.
I liked it a lot. I like the color. I love the different trim levels that they have, the names for them. There's nothing that I really didn't like about it.
I actually, Kathy sat in it. I sent a picture to my granddaughter. She likes it too.
Yeah, there's a full VIN on this. It's not XX.
Okay. Well,
But there's a full serial number on it.
maybe they don't do the XX
Maybe they
anymore.
changed
I don't
it.
know.
Well, you said General Motors. This is a
Yeah,
Ford.
yeah, I know.
So thank you very much.
Nice.
So that's the review of the Bronco.
cool.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I talked to the guy that gives me the Fords, and very nice guy, Ken Peabody. Mike knows him.
Yeah, nice guy.
Does a very nice job with the press fleet, and I wanted to give him a shout out and thank him very much for sending me the Ford Bronco this week. I'm driving the Ford Expedition.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God, is that thing nice? Jeez.
Yeah, Candace said that Ford had the dealers out to an off-road event in Horseshoe Bay driving Broncos, and she really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. And then Roos jumps in and says all the roofs on the new Broncos have been recalled due to warpage.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know about warpage. I think it has something to do with the color, the pigments, and that it fades really badly.
Okay.
But to go through the whole thing again, that when you look at these, you have to understand this is a specialty vehicle that's built for off-road. Yes, it does just fine on the highway. Mm-hmm. I had it up to 70, 75 miles an hour. Rides great. It's a short wheelbase.
It is a short wheelbase.
It's a short wheelbase.
Tall
So
tires.
what that typically does is it makes for a little choppy ride. I didn't really pay any attention to that because that's not what the car is built for. Now, granted, you do have to get to the off-road park or wherever it is that you're taking it, and it does a fine job getting there. And I will tell you that the 7-speed manual transmission was fun. I really enjoyed it. The clutch is easy to use. The actual shifter, easy. It is well put together, well thought out. Ford did a great job, and congratulations.
Well, like
to
I
them.
said, the size of the side doors, it looks somewhat out of proportion, but it looks great.
And by the way, speaking of which, I understand I didn't try it, and there's a bag back there for the top. I didn't take the top off. I didn't take the doors off.
Well, thanks for not taking your top off, Don.
But apparently that there's plenty of storage in the back for the doors and the top.
He didn't drop the windshield down either. Two things on that. When we were leaving the restaurant, somebody stopped you to look at the vehicle.
Yeah.
I remember that.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Hold on. Well, our next Zoom guest is here.
Apparently
we
so.
can hear him.
Yeah. So who is this, Mars?
This is Troy Hawks.
Elon.
Is it Elon?
No, this is Troy Hawks.
Well, that's next hour.
No. My bad. I had to make a shift for Brian out at the air show, and I shifted it, and I forgot to update what came to you. So this is the correct guy. It's just you have the wrong schedule.
Oh.
No, I've got the right schedule because I've got the schedule that you sent me. So
Yes,
as far
I
as
did.
I'm
And
concerned,
on the updates, you did not get the update.
I got an update.
So Ruse says it is a laminate separation is the problem with the top.
okay.
Just consider it's recalled and they'll fix it. Get over
Yeah.
it. Drive your truck and
Take
enjoy
your
it.
letter. Don't even get a letter. Just go take it.
Okay, Mars. So I'll let you just go ahead and handle this.
There you go.
Well, I
Okay.
need to go call our next guest because he's texting me.
Okay.
So anyway, this is actually Troy Hawks, and I think Charles Williams may join us here shortly from the Houston Mopar Connection Club because the upcoming car show, their annual car show that they do every year at the Houston, or it's actually the National Funeral Home Museum, is here in Texas.
Not Funeral Home Museum.
I mean-
it's the Funeral Museum.
Funeral Museum is here in Houston.
Yeah.
You know, you've sat over there for an entire hour.
and done nothing.
It does. It
Emailed
says
Elon.
Funeral Museum Car Show. It says that specifically
Funeral
here.
museum.
That's
but
what
not
you-
funeral home.
Well, I was ad-libbing. I wasn't trying to read it. I was trying to be more...
and it's off of North I-45 and Rankin area.
Is that where this guest is?
No, that's not where
but
he
that's
is.
where his show is going to be.
Okay.
So let's get to him.
Right now with my daughter feeding
Yeah,
her
so
lamb.
he's out feeding lambs, I believe.
Go right ahead.
That's bad.
It's all
Yeah.
yours.
Yeah. So anyway, Troy, how's it going?
Oh, it's going all right. Sorry I'm not in my garage to show you my cars, but That's the way life goes, you know. So technology is here live right now with you guys.
Well, thank you.
Yep. So we haven't got Charles yet on here. So Charles may make it in yet, and if he does, we'll talk and look at his cars. But let's talk about the Halloween car show coming up.
Yeah, Charles is the main gist of it. What it is, it's a multi-model car show, so it's open to everybody. It's not just the Houston Mopar Club. They're the ones that put it on, and my daughter just got in the car. So,
howdy, daughter.
Yeah, say hi, Julie. We're on live. Anyways, it historically came from the Houston Mopar Club, all Mopar show, and about 10, 12 years ago, we decided to go ahead and do a multi-show where you have all makes and models that can come. And the venue was a real good venue at the Houston Funeral Home Museum. So, yeah, I mean, anybody can show up. They've got real good activities. And what they do is, they got the museum that's inside. They got an auditorium, and they're always playing cool movies so people, if it's a hot day, can get out, Ghostbusters and, all kinds of Casper, just cool, kind of movies to get people out. They have vendors that show up. It's a real good time, real good venue. I've enjoyed it every time that we've been there.
And what date?
Behind it.
It's Saturday, October 30th, right?
Yeah, I believe that's the case. It is. You can catch it at HoustonMopars.org, and that's plural, HoustonMopars.org. And it's the Houston Mopar Club Connection website.
I want to go see Walking Dead over there.
Like I said, we've been doing it for quite a while now.
Very good. So you do, since it's right there on Halloween or right there at Halloween, do y'all do like a trunk or treat or anything for the kids?
Yeah, there's usually, participation is highly encouraged as far as dressing up, getting in costumes and having fun like that. Some people deck out their cars and, get the spider webs and, skeletons. And they have a contest for that kind of stuff, costumes for kids. They'll have a costume. They got music going on. So it's a good time. It's a real big time family event. So my daughter, she said, "Oh, I remember that." I mean, we took her when she was knee high to a tadpole. I mean,
and this year it's called the Boo 13 Halloween Show.
So there you go, 13 years.
Cool name.
Yeah, it's kind of numerically.
And it's $25 to pre-register, which really isn't a bad price for a car show. And I'll assume you have different categories and giving out prizes and stuff.
Yeah, and then what they do, they have the awards presentation inside the auditorium, so you're out of the heat. It's comfortable. They got the auditorium chairs and all that kind of good stuff. So it's a really, really, really good time. There's past show pictures from the website, so people can check it out and see what they've done in the past.
And they don't take you back into the back and show you how they prepare the dead bodies.
Oh, I want to do that.
Because it is a teaching facility.
Process, yeah.
No, but actually, if you think about it, the first time I was there, it was like, okay, yeah, this is hokey, the funeral home museum, But when you go inside and you check it out, it is actually pretty fascinating. It blew me away when I went in there and saw all the things that people could talk about.
They've got a hearse in there that apparently was only used one time, because back in the day, in the early days of automobiles and hearses and that sort of thing, they didn't quite understand the whole thing, because people, the mourners, would gather, and then they would all be loaded into this truck-like thing.
Right.
It was kind of like a bus, and then the body would be loaded in there too. Well, it just so happened that they didn't quite figure out how to balance all of that, so all the people got in and the front wheels went off the ground and they couldn't steer it. So there was that.
And they have a collection of funeral vehicles there.
That's what I'm saying.
Besides just that one, but another collection. I remember they were actually one of the vehicles they collected through the TV show American Pickers, and American Pickers had it delivered. There was a pretty cool piece.
And
of
for
show.
Halloween, I'm going to do a feature on a hearse.
So this is at 415 Barron Springs Drive, Houston, Texas, and it's near AirTex and I-45 at the National Museum of Funeral History.
They'll teach you how to carve a turkey there, too.
All right. Well, Troy, thanks so much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
All right. Sorry I wasn't around so you could see the cars, but maybe next time.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks.
All right, time now for This Week in Auto History.
Aha.
Well, the first story, Don, is from your home state of
No, this is my home state.
of Wisconsin.
Texas. It's
Texas,
my home
okay.
state.
Well, you were
I
born-
was born up
You were
there.
born
state.
in Wisconsin.
Got here as quick as I
So
could.
in 1912, the first professional race victory for Duesenberg engines. The race car was driven by Mortimer Roberts,
Mortimer Snurd.
who won the 220-mile Pabst Blue Ribbon Trophy race. I wonder if they were drinking PBR. while they were-
Yeah.
And it was held around the village of Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. Wow, I can't pronounce it.
Wauwatosa.
Wauwatosa.
Like Baba Wawa.
Baba Wawa.
Baba Wawa. So, and that was the car they had a victory.
That
in.
was
pretty
it.
cool. Look at that! It's chain driven. Is that wild?
Yeah.
And so, in 1913, Ford introduced the continuous moving assembly line. There's Wauwatosa. Tell me how to pronounce that.
Wauwatosa.
Wauwatosa. The moving assembly line in Highland Park factory. The assembly line was divided into 29 operations performed by 29 groups of people along a moving belt. The system reduced the man hours to complete one Model T from 12 and a half hours to 6 hours. So with all of the different cars on the line, they were actually producing a Model T every 24 seconds.
How many were recalled?
Wow.
None of them. They didn't recall cars back then. They just buried the driver. In 1947, the Fédération Internationale d'Automobile, the FIA, formally established for F1 racing Grand Prix competition. Prior to that, the World Championship racing was sedans and stuff. It didn't have to be open wheel cars, so they created the F1 formula for racing back
Jeff
in
hates it.
1947.
No, I just don't like Hamilton.
In 1948, a law student, Cameron Argenstinger, somebody's going to, why do I pick these
I
names?
don't know. Is that the right picture?
Argent Singer, yeah. Argent Singer had a vision of bringing European-style racing competition to the place where he spent his summer vacations and making it a
Watkins
reality.
Glen.
Under the guidance of Argent Stinger, the SCCA in the village of Watkins Glen, located in the Finger Lakes region of New York, hosted the first automobile race.
Have you ever been there?
Yeah, yeah. Originally, the race was through the streets of Watkins Glen, and then they built the track.
And where was that? Pull my finger. What?
Pull my finger. In 1959, a news conference broadcast to 21 cities on closed-circuit television. Henry Ford introduced his company's newest car, the 90-horsepower Ford Falcon.
I like it.
The Falcon, dubbed the small car with big feet, was an overnight success. Do you know that Falcon was also the name that Chrysler was going to use to introduce the Valiant? The first year the Valiant came out in 1959, it had no name on it because they had planned on using Falcon, and Ford came out with it first.
Okay. Perfect.
And then it wasn't until the second year of production they put the Valiant name on it. In 1960, the first episode of the one-hour television drama Route 66 aired on CBS.
Route 66. Not Route.
Whatever. Route 66 on CBS. The program had a simple premise. It followed two young men, Buzz and Todd, as they drove across the country.
Sure, yeah, that's it.
Buzz.
Todd.
As they drove around the country in an inherited Corvette. Chevrolet was one of the show sponsors. They were doing odd jobs looking for adventure.
Yeah.
Route 44 had, or Route
66.
Route 66 had its own setting change every week because it was filmed on location.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were always traveling somewhere.
And the car was upgraded every year by Chevrolet. So it actually started off with a 1960 model, and the first show, and then the second show they used a 61, and then Chevrolet provided upgraded vehicles throughout the show's run, upgrading the new models each year.
I was trying to sync it.
Sync. Yeah, we're syncing. Chevrolet, and then through the 64 model year, so there actually was a 63 and a 64 where they transitioned from the C2 Corvette to the Stingray Corvettes. And
is this a long segment that you're going to do
And then
today?
in 1961, the United Auto Workers called the first company-wide strike against Ford since Ford's union contract was signed in 1941. The negotiations between Ford Motor Company and the UAW fell apart, and it took 7 days of strike before the tenuous 3-year agreement was signed.
There was a lot of
tenuous.
people were shot and all that stuff.
No, in 41, that's when that happened, when they actually got the machine guns out on the top of the hill, and they were just mowing people down. Yeah.
That was
Unions probably were. It was the manufacturers, and they were beating up. Ford had his guy, and they were out there beating up the union guys.
beat him.
Well, now that you've taken up all of my time, I did want to mention a couple of things. Lithium prices, not the lithium that you take for your mental stability, but lithium prices extended their year-long rally as surging demand spurs a shortfall of the key battery material. Prices have more than doubled in the past year. Demand for the materials used in EVs and renewable energy storage has soared. And while miners are seeking to boost supply, there's not enough to meet consumption. No surprise there.
And then all the lithium mines that were in Afghanistan, we just gave to China.
And General Motors said it's partnering with the General Electric division to develop a supply chain of rare earth and other materials used in the manufacturing of EVs and renewable energy equipment. The collaboration with GE Renewable Energy will create a supply chain based in North America and Europe and evaluate ways to improve supplies of heavy and light rare earth materials and magnets, copper, and electrical steel.
That'd make a good band name, Rare Earth.
There already is.
I think that there was a band called Rare Earth, but I hadn't used that. I hadn't used that word in a long time, and I wanted to say it many times. Rare Earth.
We'll have to listen to some of their music during the break.
Mother Nature.
Okay, well, keep that in mind. Time now for a quick break here on the In Wheel Time Car Show. We've got more coming up. Stay with us. Whether you own a newer car or want to keep your older one humming along for a while longer, think of Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Bayway Chevy, and Bayway Lincoln to keep things in tip-top shape. From oil changes to major repairs, you can depend on the highly skilled service pros at Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Bayway Chevrolet, and Bayway Lincoln to perform fast, efficient service to keep your investment running strong. For all your service needs, remember Bayway. Schedule your next appointment online anytime. Bayway, keeping it original. Tailpipes and Tacos, Houston's premier monthly car cruise-in, returns Saturday morning, October 16th to the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy. Tailpipes and Tacos is free and you're invited. Collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods will all be on display. Lupi founder, car collector, and drag racer Stan Holt brings you the coolest Saturday morning cruise-in, Tailpipes and Tacos. Car show season's just around the corner and time to stretch your car's legs in a fun family event. There'll be plenty of fabulous, fresh, made-to-order Lupi tortilla tacos, hot coffee, and adult beverages, too. This is Houston's coolest cruise-in, Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard just south of I-10 and on the Southwest Freeway in Kirby inside the Loop. Get your ride ready and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise-in, October 16th, 8 to 11 a.m. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. We'll see you then, weather permitting. Gulf Coast Auto Shield has moved to a more convenient location. Now you can visit John Gray and his staff of dedicated professionals at their new shop on the South Sam Houston Parkway between Belford and Airport in Southwest Houston. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is the best at paint correction and ceramic coatings. Clear bras and custom wraps are specialties that only Gulf Coast Auto Shield installs with award-winning accuracy, and all their services come with a warranty. Lamborghini, Aston Martin, Porsche, and Ferrari owners depend on Gulf Coast Auto Shield for their specialty services, and you should too. The In-Wheel Time Corvette and Cutlass have both been massaged by Gulf Coast Auto Shield, so isn't it time your vehicle visit their new shop in Southwest Houston? Call John Gray today at 832-930-5655 or visit online at gcautoshield.com. That's gcautoshield.com. paint, coatings, wraps, and more at gcautoshield.com.